Let's quickly compare Clio to Filevine legal management software. And so here's an overview I want you to really pay attention to when you actually start comparing Clio to Filevine, okay? So what's the bottom line here? Which is better, Filevine or Clio? Let's talk about that. One thing for sure, Filevine is more expensive to implement than Clio, and Clio is rated with the same score as Filevine when it comes to customer service and when it comes to UX and UI, okay? And what we have seen in our research is that Filevine offers users more features than Clio. So with the Filevine, you have about nine important features, and Clio has about 6 important features. I will actually elaborate. I will elaborate on all those pieces of information into this video. But it's really important to give you a clear, like an overview of the comparison that we have here. So if you are looking for the right legal management solution for your business, it's important to understand that you have to pay attention to the real total cost of implementation, the TCO, the full list of features, the vendor reliability, user reviews, and the pros and cons. Okay, so basically, Filevine lets you communicate clearly without interrupting each other's workflows. So you can share and edit documents, you can assign tasks, you can connect calendars, and you can actually do everything to sort of foster a collaborative environment within your team. So if your lawyers, if you have lawyers who are working in different offices, they are able to communicate seamlessly. So what about Clio? What we have seen is that Clio actually provides a full suite of web-based practice management tools that are targeted specifically at the administrative needs of sole practitioners and small firms. So when you think about Clio, think about solos and small law firms, okay? And Clio actually is a single resource that eliminates the need for multiple specialized applications by incorporating the principal talents of each. So that's the thing, and this happens through integrations. So you have an API, and basically through API you can actually integrate a multitude, if you will, of third-party apps, even though those apps are not native to Clio. This is kind of, for instance, Clio doesn't have a robust accounting suite, but what it does is that it allows you through QuickBooks Online, through Zoho Books, through FreshBooks, through Wave to actually complement the accounting portion for your law firm. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. So let's talk about the value added here. So value added, first of all, let's look at Filevine. So Filevine has 9 features, 9 important features. See, the thing is that those are not just features that are sort of critical. Those features are critical for a law firm, regardless of the size. Number 1, you have version control. Version control is really important when it comes to you managing the historical aspects of the documents you're sharing among lawyers in your law firm. So version control is an essential criterion. We have collaboration. So collaboration is also quite essential, especially when your lawyers are not working in the same office. If you have lawyers working from home, if you have lawyers working on the road, if you have lawyers working at the office, you want to have the collaboration feature, and Filevine does offer that. You have document management. So document management actually goes hand in hand with the version control. And what we love about document management within Filevine is that you are able to track things seamlessly. So this seamlessness of the work stream here is a big plus, is a biggie when it comes to Filevine. You also have task management. So your task management is important because you want to assign the right cases, the right matters to the right attorneys, and to the right partners within your law firm. And this task management is kind of important when you have a small to mid-sized firm. You have document assembly. This is another area where Filevine really shines. In other words, you're able to track documents, like I would say quarter over quarter, month over month, and also assemble them. You have document indexing, another important element in some cases. When it comes to litigation, you want to be able to have a strong document indexing, I would say practice, or let's say routine. And also, Filevine is great when it comes to document tagging. This is another area where the software really shines. The 2 areas where you will really love Filevine include time tracking and contract management. So when we talk about time tracking, of course, we're speaking here about billable versus non-billable hours, so which ties to revenue generation, which ties to revenue tracking. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Clio versus Filevine legal management software. Now let's talk about Clio. So Filevine, we have established that you have 9 features. With Clio, you have 6 important features. Number 1, you have time and expense tracking. So this is kind of similar to Filevine in the sense that you are able to you're able to track time, you're able to track expenses. Now, Clio in this department seems to be a little bit above or ahead of the game when it comes to Filevine, because it adds to the equation expense tracking in addition to time tracking. So not only are you tracking your billing, are you tracking your revenue, you're also tracking expenses. So right off the bat, you have a clear idea about your profit, and you can calculate profitability by attorney, profitability by case, profitability by matter, profitability by jurisdiction, profitability based on the docket number. Okay, and so you also have billing and invoicing within Clio. This is another, you can see that Clio is really concerned with revenue generation and financial reporting, right? So billing and invoicing is another criterion that is strong within Clio. You have document management. So the same thing that Filevine has here, they're like, there is a tie. So the same level of depth, the same depth and breadth that you have in Filevine when it comes to document management, you also see it in Clio. What about time tracking? Same thing here. So same thing here. You have task management also. That's another important feature within Clio. The same thing that you have it in the Filevine, you also have it in Clio. So task management, again, we're talking about accountability. We're talking about delegation. We're talking about actually, outsourcing, whether you have to make a decision whether you should get co-counsel or whether you should rely on your in-house attorneys. And also within Clio, the sixth and last feature is vendor client portal. Now, vendor client portal is not as strong in Filevine, if available at all, but you have it strongly in Clio. In Clio, you can actually manage the relationship between your vendors and clients seamlessly. So this is really fantastic. Let's talk about affordability. So who is more expensive, Filevine or Clio? Because see, again, the real total cost of ownership of legal management software includes the software license. Of course, you have subscription fees, you have software training, you have customizations, and you have hardware if needed. You have maintenance and support and other related services. So don't just look at the subscription fees and just say, oh, okay, this is cheaper. This is no. You got to look at the totality of a cost to actually make a decision. Okay, so this holistic analysis, this holistic approach really will serve you in the long run, especially if you are going to scale. If you go from a firm with 10 lawyers to a firm with say 100 lawyers or 1,000 lawyers, then if you start thinking of things in terms of TCO, total cost of ownership, it's a lot better that way. So it's important to always add those hidden costs that I just listed for you. Okay, so let's talk about Clio first. So when you think about Clio, you got to understand that Clio actually has, and you've seen this on the screen here, right? I really want you to see on the screen. So Clio has a quartet of prices, right? So you have the easy start, you have the essentials, you have the advanced, and then you have the complete, and they're charging you $129 per user per month. I want to show you the second screenshot here. This is the screenshot for Filevine. So you can see that Filevine is not publishing its pricing. So right off the bat, one might say, well, Clio is more transparent, so they're cheaper, right? Right or wrong? I mean, we'll see. But it's really important to understand that, because Clio is sharing its data, Filevine is not. So if you're looking for a software provider that's a little more transparent, maybe Clio wins here. The thing I want to say here is that Filevine accurate pricing info is available upon request. They don't share this publicly. However, on a scale between 1 to 10, Filevine is actually around 2 to 3, which is much lower than the average cost of legal management software. And so Clio actually is around 2 to 4, which is again much lower. So you can see that based on our research and based on the data that our own business customers have shared with us, one can say that Clio and Filevine are sort of similar. That there is a tie when it comes to pricing. So there's not one that's cheaper than the other. What about the features here? By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Clio versus Filevine legal management software. So let's talk about the features here. So which software includes more or better features? So basically with Filevine, as I said before, you have 9 features, right? Version control, collaboration, document management, task management, document assembly, document indexing, document tagging, and time tracking. With Clio, you have 6 features. Again, 6 quintessential features. You have time and expense tracking, billing and invoicing, document management, tracking, and you have task management. So the question here is that, when we talk about those features now, you have to understand which one is important to you, right? I mean, we can't say, well, one is offering 9 features and the other is offering 6 features. So right off the bat, Filevine is better than Clio. Now, what's important to you? Okay, what's important to you, and so you choose based on what's important to you. I want to really give you a clear idea once again. With Filevine, you have version control, collaboration, document management, task management, document assembly, document indexing, document tagging, time tracking, and contract management. With Clio, you have time and expense tracking, billing and invoicing, document management, time tracking, task management, vendor client portal. So if there are features that are lacking in one or the other, and that's important to you, then you know which one to choose. Okay. What about the target customer size? Filevine legal management software is typically used by law firms, in-house legal departments, and other legal professionals. Clio legal management software serves a range of customers in the legal industry, from solos to large law firms with multiple locations. So when you think about that, you have to think about which categories you find yourself into. Okay, which category is important to you? Because at the end of the day, Filevine is a cloud-based legal management software that allows its users to keep track of the source of clients' leads, set out intake scripting for no lead arrivals, and evaluate marketing expenditure. So here you have categories as critical as strategic planning. You have reporting, communication, case management, and so on and so forth. Clio, basically, on the other end, is a law practice and legal case management solution for businesses of all sizes, and its capabilities include time and billing management, reporting, case management, and security. So it's one of those things you have to ask yourself, what matters to you? The categories that you want to focus on here when it comes to Clio: billing and invoicing, strategic planning, communications, document management, records management. Let me quickly go into the specs here. So what are Filevine's specifications? So when you think about Filevine, what kind of specifications should you really pay attention to? First of all, when we talk about pricing, I've already established that Filevine is not that expensive. Okay, so from on a pricing from 2 to 10, they are around 2 to 3, so they are affordable. So which means even if you are a solo and you are a solo that's generating enough revenue, you can still afford Filevine. Okay, so Filevine actually focuses specifically on legal management. So we're talking about all-in-one legal management. Okay, and the thing is that you have small businesses, medium and large businesses. You also have solos. In terms of platforms, you have desktop, mobile, and cloud. So Filevine really sort of answers. They really tick all the most important points here, the most important boxes here. Okay. And it's important to understand that when we talk about Filevine also, we have to talk about the flexibility that it offers. Because think about it. For example, you're able to do version control. And if version control is important in your industry or in your practice, then you will go with Filevine, because version control is not available. Like Clio doesn't offer version control. They don't have that. Same thing with collaboration. They don't have that. Maybe they have it in another format, but the clear format of collaboration it's only available. I mean, it's mostly prominent in Filevine. Okay, same thing with document assembly. Clio does have document management, and so does Filevine, but document assembly is something unique or something peculiar, if you will, in this comparison. Of course, it's peculiar to Filevine. So at the end of the day, you gotta. Filevine also has contract management. Do you sign a lot of contracts in your law firm? Do you care about contract management? If you do, then you really would go with the Filevine because they are strong there. They also do document indexing. Okay, document indexing is kind of important when it comes to the overall, I would say, the overall efficiency of your law firm. So, long story short, when we compare and contrast the specifications of Filevine versus Clio, you have to understand that everything boils down to what's important to your law firm specifically. Let's talk about Clio, and I want to talk about the Clio specs. So when you think about Clio, same thing when it comes to pricing. Clio is also cheap. So we're looking at 2 to 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being very expensive. So I mean, cheap is not the right word. We'll say affordable, okay? And so of course, we will put Clio in the same category as legal management, and Clio same customer service. I mean, same target audience here: small, medium, and large size businesses. In some cases, they might also attract solos. In terms of platforms, Clio is available on desktop, mobile, and cloud. Okay, and but as I said before, throughout this comparison, the thing with Clio is that they're not really strong. The thing is, if they're not strong when it comes to CRM, they're not strong when it comes to accounting, they're not strong when it comes to document assembly. What they do is they actually have beefed up their APIs, their integration capability. So you're able to get that missing feature, if you will, from a third party, and that happens through an integration. Now, some lawyers do not want to pay extra, and so they would rather have everything within one app or within one software tool, as opposed to paying $20 here, $30 there, $50 here and there. By the time you know it, you're spending like $1,000 on a simple tool. So Clio actually has, so Clio, just want to quickly remind you, Clio has time and expense tracking, billing and invoicing, document management, time tracking, task management, vendor client portal. They don't have contract management. They don't have document tagging. They don't have document indexing. They don't have document assembly. They don't have they don't have version control, and they don't have collaboration as prominently as Filevine does have it. So, but what Clio lacks in terms of native app, they do have a native functionality, if you will. They have it in terms of integration, so you can get those through third parties. Maybe you currently have other tools that you're using that have those capabilities. For instance, if you currently have QuickBooks, chances are you have already the full accounting suite. If you're using HubSpot for your CRM, chances are you already have a robust client relationship and management tool. Okay, so this is what it is. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Into this conversation, I quickly talked to you about Clio versus Filevine, and in terms of which one is the best, you will decide. If you were to decide on the cost only, both are sort of affordable. But when it comes to features, I've actually explained at length the difference in features. So it's up to you to see basically which feature is more important for you and make your decision accordingly. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.